Let's give a very warm welcome to Michael.
Thank you. And thank you very much for that very kind introduction, Tracy. And thank you, CV Labs and Casper Labs, for inviting me to speak here today. So before co-founding Make and also co-founding Casper Labs, I've actually been involved in the adoption cycles of new technologies for my entire career. Starting in the mid-90s, I've been involved in the adoption of first mobile games and apps, e-commerce, social games, and now blockchain. And there's been one thing that's been consistent and consistently true in my experience. New technologies don't really get adopted until a certain number of prerequisites are met, and I'd like to talk about those. So the first prerequisite in my experience really is the availability of intuitive user experience. So for those of you who are old enough to remember, back in 2006, the year before the iPhone came out, the #1 smartphone operating system was this thing called Symbian OS. It commanded close to 50% of the smartphone market share globally. The only problem was the global market for smartphones was about 150 million users worldwide. Right? That's, depending on which estimates you believe, more or less the size of the blockchain user base today. Then comes along iPhone, and shortly after that Android, and all of a sudden smartphone usage takes off, it skyrockets. And the question is, why wasn't Symbian able to do that in the 12 years of its existence prior to 2006? It has a lot to do with user experience. It was just really, really hard to use that darn thing. Next up is a repeat engagement. So for me, that's another prerequisite. Technologies that have the built-in ability to continuously engage with their end users, whether it was AOL Mail in the 90s, social games like find their users' attention and get them back time and again and accomplish exponential growth. Finally, technologies that provide a captive and integrated ecosystem are primed for mass adoption. So Web2 companies like Google and Amazon and Apple, they've perfected this strategy. And as end users, all of us, we know how convenient it is to really sort of seamlessly interact with and navigate across their ecosystems. So the real question is, why hasn't this really happened in blockchain yet? I think we can all agree, as an industry, we have not reached our mass adoption moment yet. And why is it that no blockchain project has really, to date, met 1, 2, or even 3 of these prerequisites, and when will that happen? So I believe that Casper actually is primed to kick off a true adoption cycle. And with Make's help, Casper will meet all these 3 prerequisites. And let me tell you why. So let's talk about user experience, or UX. When Casper came to us about 2 years ago and said, our ecosystem needs a world-class block explorer, we worked with some of the world's top UX designers from the traditional finance space, and we developed Casper Live. Its intuitive UX not only enables sort of a best-in-class block explorer experience, but also provides access to advanced functionality such as transfer, staking, and soon things like integrations with crypto tax software, multi-signature transactions, and other things. As the front door to the Casper ecosystem, Casper Live is a gateway to other dApps on the blockchain. Then, a few months ago, we launched Casper Studio, a web experience where anybody can effortlessly mint their NFTs. The UX was so straightforward that crypto Twitter, which we all love, paid us the ultimate compliment by saying it does not feel like blockchain. We've been told by moms in their 50s, I just can't believe I just minted an NFT. It quickly became the #1 or one of the top dApps on the network. In the next few months, and we have a little video with this, in the next few months we will launch Casper Market, a best-in-class NFT marketplace, not only for digital art and collectibles, but also for physical goods and intellectual property, many of the projects that were announced here over the last couple of days. Well, Casper Market will also be a great destination to discover and trade NFT assets. The underlying technology is one that we make available as a white label solution to other projects, enterprises, and companies on the Casper blockchain. And we're excited about launching those in those first integrations this year as well. I'll let this video finish. There we go. Now, the official subject of this keynote is the new Casper wallet, which will soon replace the Casper signer. Casper Wallet features an entirely new UI and a user experience that's really optimized for ease of use and the safe self-custody of users' tokens. As a browser extension, it is the first wallet to be available not just for Chromium-based browsers, but all desktop browser platforms, including Firefox and WebKit browsers. Later this year, it will also be available for mobile devices, providing a seamless and secure experience for Casper users no matter where they are. We are currently in a private beta, and we're wrapping up a security audit. After that, we're opening up the open beta and expect a full launch sometime in February. User experience also extends to developer experience. Blockchains are notoriously difficult to develop for. Dealing with setting up nodes, with things like global state, block time, and other unfamiliar concepts presents a huge roadblock for adoption. While Casper is way more developer-friendly than most other blockchains, we take it a step further with Casper Clouds. It's a middleware platform that provides developers with a standard REST API with which they can not only perform all interactions with the Casper blockchain, but also access indexed, enriched, summarized, and aggregated data, making it extremely easy to build powerful blockchain applications. So Casper Cloud not only underpins all the tools and applications that make builds for the Casper network, but the platform is already being used by many developers and enterprises on the Casper ecosystem, including other block explorers, DeFi applications, wallets, and exchanges. That brings us to Casper Click. Casper Click, sorry, there we go. Casper Click does, I clicked one too many. Casper Click doesn't just improve the developer experience, but aims to massively improve and reduce the friction in the end user experience. If you have ever used Casper Live, then you're familiar with this login screen, where you can connect with all the supported wallets. As a user, if you subsequently visit another dApp, typically you're being asked to connect again. It may be with a different wallet because they don't support the same ones. And it's a very friction-full experience going from dApp to dApp across the ecosystem. With Casper Click, once you sign in on one dApp, you're essentially connected to all dApps. As the US airline commercial goes, you are now free to move about the country. For developers, we will soon release this as an SDK, which will allow them to quickly and easily integrate with all supported wallets in the Casper ecosystem using a single SDK. It will continuously add support for more wallets. Not only will this allow them to provide massively better user experience to their users, it will also massively improve their discoverability because all the integrated applications will be featured in an App Store-style experience on other ecosystem tools such as Casper Live and Casper Wallet. Finally, UX also applies to how we identify ourselves on the blockchain. I think we all agree 32-character hexadecimal strings are not the most user-friendly experience. We are soon launching Casper Name. It's a Casper name service, surprise, that will allow users and companies to identify themselves with human-readable names in the .cspr domain. Casper Name already represents Casper in the industry-wide Web3 Domain Alliance, and will be fully integrated with all the tools in the ecosystem, including Casper Wallet, Casper Live, and all dApps, wallets, and exchanges that already make use of the Casper Cloud middleware platform. So back to our prerequisites, because we only talked about user experience so far, and I have 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Remember, repeat engagement. The repeat engagement. We are working to bring notifications to the Casper ecosystem in 2023. With the Casper wallet installed on desktops and mobile devices of Casper users, dApps that are integrated with the Casper Cloud middleware platform will be able to continuously engage with their end users rather than having to wait for the end user to pick up their device and check in with the app. Imagine, for example, being able to receive a notification when your signature is requested for a multi-signature transaction, or when your game requires your attention, or whatever the application may be. Of course, the user will be in control of which dApps will be allowed to contact them and when, and the user's anonymity and privacy will always be guaranteed and protected. Lastly, I mentioned the importance of a captive and integrated ecosystem. While the examples are infinite, let me provide a scenario to illustrate this. Let's say you are a company developing a game, and I see a few of you here in the audience. you need users. You may actually acquire those users through the discovery mechanisms provided by Casper Live, the front door to the Casper ecosystem. That user may then seamlessly connect to your game using Casper Click. In the game, rather than being known by random hash, they are known by their gamer tag, powered by Casper name. And they may earn, mint, and trade game assets, virtual assets from the game on Casper Market. All this is powered by Casper Cloud, the middleware API platform. And when it's time for this user to become a paying user, they will do so with Casper Wallet. This level of captive ecosystem integration has not previously existed in blockchain. And paired with the engagement tools and the industry-leading focus on user experience that we're providing, I really believe that Casper Network is primed to lead the charge in sort of the mass adoption of blockchain technology in 2023 and the years ahead. And if you're already building on Casper or are considering to start doing so, please come talk to us and see how we can work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.